right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's workout, we've got a nice chipper for you today. The first time we're going to be doing this in what we call a yellow WOD episode, we're going to be doing 40 calories on the bike, 30 deadlifts, 20 front squats, 10 squat cleans, and then we're done. But we may be looking at this thinking, hey, I know it's only one round, but that 40 cal bike seems like a lot. And I don't know, I feel like I'm going to get kind of tired. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm up. Here we go. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I'm a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's switch to arm circles forward. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys live your best life is through our Habit Master coaching program. And in our Habit Master coaching, we offer you private and semi-private coaching to give you or your small group of 3 to 5 people what you individually need to get the most out of this program. So if you've benefited from Habit Master coaching, whether on the private training side or doing some private health sessions, how has it helped you? Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. And let's hear first from Twin One of our awesome Habit Master coaches. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from. How have you been helped by coaching, and what do you appreciate about coaching others?
Hi, I'm Denise in New York. I've definitely been helped in the sense that this is a program that I've been able to stick to because of the way that we approach things. It's people think that you have to make drastic changes in your life, but coach has definitely helped us work on you don't have to do anything drastic. Do little things at a time, and you build on your habits. And I really like helping people in that way because they feel like overwhelmed already just thinking about starting a new program for fitness and health. But we talk to them and make them feel calm that they don't have to make a drastic change in their life. It's little things at a time and things that are attainable for them to do. And it's helped me as well. So I really appreciate the program.
Spoken like a true coach. Thank you so much for explaining so well what our ethos is in this program. Small changes leads to big changes. Let's move on to some high knees. High knees into chest, or if it works better, we could do some high elbows like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from. How have you benefited from Habit Master coaching?
Hi, my name's Bernicia. I'm from Georgia, and the semi-coaching I received, it really helped me, especially when the coach take out time to take me out my comfort zone and doing things that I thought I wasn't gonna do because he could see me and was like, well, let's try this. So it helped me to progress in certain areas, and so I'm thankful for it. Thank you.
And it is just amazing that we get to accompany your progress as well. So thank you so much, Mighty Mouse. Let's move on to the wrist wave. And while we're doing the wrist wave, let's hear from Bird Dog. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate the most about our Habit Master coaching program?
I'm Robin from Texas, and I have appreciated the semi-private coaching. Even though you're with a group, you definitely get some one-on-one coaching mixed in there, and it's one of the benefits. It's helped me with my form to prevent any kind of getting hurt or any of that. So I definitely have appreciated that.
And thank you for being so coachable and for applying what you learn immediately so that we can just keep getting better and better. And let's now move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or we could do some wrist extensions. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Deb. Go ahead, Deb, say your name, where you're from, and how have you benefit from Habit Master Coaching?
Hi, my name is Deb and I'm in Connecticut. I have benefited from Habit Master Coaching. I've done both, private and semi-private. I did like the private the most because you think you're gonna get something over on the coach and not mentioning any names, but Coach D, she was like, turn to the side so I could see. And I'm like, no, because you're doing it wrong. But you want to do it right. But you just need that slight little tweak. And so coaching, and so then the next time you see the coach, it's like what's expected of you and you go down a little bit lower. I was working on squats and then something else. And so so private coaching and semi-private coaching is very good because you don't get away with nothing in private coaching because coach sees everything. Thanks, coach.
It's all out of love, Deb. And because we give you that tough love, you just keep getting better and better each time. So thank you so much for being so coachable, coming back, getting better. Let's go ahead and move on to some jumping jacks. Or we could do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. And so Habit Master Coaching is one of the best ways to get what you individually need to find the way to better habits and find the way to better movement. And if any of this sounds interesting to you, please click that link that's in this video or feel free to message me directly for details. Let's take a break from this warm-up and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. So the first move we're going to do is the pigeon. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate the pigeon for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that pigeon is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's sink into the pigeon on this side. So on the pigeon here, we're going to be laying face down and we've got the one leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And we're sinking into this pose here, which is going to help us to improve our squat positioning. And let's go ahead and switch legs here. We're going to get the other leg up and across the chest, other leg back. And in this pigeon, it's one of the most important activations that we do. It activates the glutes, relieves issues that might be going on with the IT band. And like we mentioned before, it does help us to improve our squat positioning. We always talk about chest up, shoulders back, knees out to the side. And that is what we are actively improving here on this pigeon. Next, we're going to roll over and do some glute bridges. Let's go ahead and have V demonstrate 2 glute bridges for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those glute bridges are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 glute bridges together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on our back, pulling the feet in super close to the hips. We're squeezing those glutes, getting the hips higher and higher each time. And we want to think fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down. And so good job here on these glute bridges. Next, we're going to roll over and do some stepping mountain climbers. Let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 mountain climbers on each side for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, Then the mountain climbers are actually going to be alternating forward arm raises like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 mountain climbers on each side. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're taking a big step forward, slightly to the side for stability, getting the feet outside the hands. And it could be that doing this off the ground is maybe a bit hard on the wrist, in which case we could do some incline mountain climbers. Let's have twin one demonstrate here. This could be off of a sofa. It could be off a counter. It could even be off the wall. But we're in a nice incline plank position, getting the knees up to the elbows in this way. But good job here on these mountain climbers. Next, we're going to do some plank shoulder taps. And let's go ahead and have V demonstrate 2 plank shoulder taps for us on each side. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the plank shoulder taps are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 plank shoulder taps on each side. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're in a nice tight plank position with those hips low, squeezing the glutes, shifting the weight there and tapping the opposite shoulder. And it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we could also do this off of an incline. Let's have twin one. Remind us here what that incline is going to look like. This will be off either a couch or a counter or even a sofa. But we are going to shift that weight and tap the opposite shoulder in a nice incline plank position there. And so good job here on these plank shoulder taps. Next, we're going to do some air squats. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the air squat for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the air squat is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 air squats together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got those feet shoulder width apart, and we're standing fully up at the top, at the beginning of the movement. And we're going to initiate by sending those hips back and down, pushing the knees out to the side throughout the movement, keeping the weight on the heels at the bottom of the movement. But then we're going to push through those feet until we get to a fully standing, locked out position up top. Now, it could be that getting those hips all the way down below the knees is a challenge, in which case we could do some assisted squats like we see Deb doing here. We can use a chair or a footstool or something along those lines for assistance. But good job here on these air squats. And finally, in the activation phase, we're going to do some good mornings. Let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 good mornings for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those good mornings are going to look like this. So let's all go ahead and do 10 good mornings together. So a couple things to keep in mind. On the good morning, we're going to have those feet close together underneath the hips, and we're going to have those arms folded across the chest. And we're going to initiate by sending those hips back, getting that chest to just about parallel. And then we're going to squeeze those glutes until we get all the way back to a fully standing position with those shoulders back at the top. And so good job here on these good mornings. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 4 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be the bike. And specifically, if you happen to have an air bike, like an assault bike or a Rogue Echo bike, or honestly, if you have any other type of machine that you'd like to substitute today, such as a rowing machine, then what I'd like you to do is to hop on that machine, and we're going to do a 1-minute test here. And you're going to bike or row for 1 minute at a moderately high intensity. And we're going to use what you get in that minute to scale the workout accordingly. But most of us don't have these machines. We're the machines. We're going to do an at-home modification for the bike that preserves the stimulus of pedaling and moving those handles. We're going to do a combination of mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps. 1 mountain climber and 1 plank shoulder tap on each side is going to equal a calorie on our body weight bike. So let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 calories on the body weight bike. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then each calorie is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 calories together. So notice in the warm-up, we were doing some stepping mountain climbers, but now, if our circumstances allow, we can do some jumping mountain climbers. And if we need to step them out because that's better for our joints and to manage that impact, then we can certainly keep stepping those as well. Now, if we need to do this off of an incline, then that's fine as well. Like we see Deb doing here, we can do the combination knee to elbow and plank shoulder tap. And each of those is going to equal a calorie on our body weight bike. But good job here, whether we're on a bike or if we are the machines doing the at-home modification. The second move that we're doing in today's workout is the deadlift. So what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a broomstick or a mop, or if you're on team PVC and you know what I mean, let's go ahead and grab that. But we don't want anything heavier than a broomstick for now. So with this broomstick in hand, we're going to do some deadlifts. And let's go ahead and have V demonstrate 2 deadlifts for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 deadlifts together. So on the deadlift, the feet are going to start close together underneath the hips, and we're going to have those hips super low, but chest up, shoulders back, looking straight ahead. And then we're going to take a deep breath in to brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing position with the shoulders back at the top. And then we're going to keep that core nice and tight on the way back down as well. And so good job here on these deadlifts. Next, we're going to do some front squats. And let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 front squats for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're actually going to do some hang power cleans for the front squat for today. And that's going to start from the knee, boom, up to the rack position like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 front squats together. So a couple things to keep in mind on the front squat. We're going to have those feet starting at shoulder width, just like we did in the warm-up. And we're going to have our elbows pointing forward and up. And we're going to take a deep breath in, sending those hips back, getting as low as we can. And we're going to fight to drive those elbows up on the way back up as well. And it could be that getting those hips all the way down below the knees is a challenge for us, in which case we could do some assisted squats, just like we see Deb doing here, sitting back on that chair or whatever target for assistance, and then driving through the feet, standing up at the top. So good job here on these front squats. And the fourth and final move that we're doing in today's workout is going to be the squat clean. And to demonstrate, first, let's have twin one demonstrate how we're going to hold this bar here. If we're not doing it already, we're doing the hook grips. So we're getting that thumb wrapped around, fingers over the thumb. And let's go ahead and see 2 reps of a squat clean. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to hit that clean now from the ground. So as low as we can go here, boom, all the way up. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 squat cleans together. So the squat clean is basically a combination of that deadlift right into that front squat. We have that hook grip on the bar. We're starting in the same way as that deadlift. But then as soon as that broomstick reaches the knees, we are jumping with the power of those hips to get it up into a front squat. And then we are standing to finish. So basically, we can think of these as front squats, except we're tapping the ground in between each time. It's starting from the ground, jumping into that squat, standing to finish it out. And we really want to use the power of those hips and get those elbows fast, get those elbows high. And that's what's going to help us, especially if we choose to add some weight later, if we're qualified to do so. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we can start from the ground like Deb here, hit that stand, hit that sit, and then stand again to finish. So it starts from the ground, jump that up, sit, and stand. A good job on these squat cleans. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been doing this program long enough to earn some badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight on those deadlifts and all the barbell movements, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing a couple practice reps, about 3 to 5 practice reps of each of these movements at a time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout. And we're going to give you plenty of time to do at least 3 to 4 practice sets before we get the clock going here. But if we have not earned our first badge, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then we are not adding any weight today. That broomstick is going to be more than enough for your workout. Seriously. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all of our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we could take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. Hey, we all have different tastes. We all have different music that gets us going. So whether you're into hip hop, EDM, Janet Jackson, whatever it is, you can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of our progress here? This is a 1-round workout. This is what we call a chipper. We're starting from the beginning, we're going toward the end. So it's going to be a little bit easier to keep track of where you're going, but it's still going to be helpful to have the workout written down close by so that we know what's coming up next. So if you're a teacher's pet like Mighty Mouse, first to the screen with this chipper written down and a scorecard on top of it. And we've got Deb as well with the handwriting award today. And we've got Twin One with the multiple color award. And then, of course, we've got Bird Dog with the whiteboard companion. Let's go ahead and take a teacher's pet picture just to show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time here, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this Fit Crew workout, which is what we call a sprint chipper. We're going to start from the top, work our way toward the end. We're going to be doing 40 calories on the bike, then 30 deadlifts, then 20 front squats, then 10 squat cleans. Now, most of us are going to do the at-home modification for the bike. We're going to be doing 40 sets of those mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps to start off the workout before moving on to the 30 deadlifts and then 20 front squats and then 10 squat cleans. Now, if we happen to have some type of machine that we were using to warm up with on that bike and we did that 1-minute test there, then whatever we did in that minute, then let's times that by 3, no more than 4. And that's going to be a good number for us to shoot for. We're looking for about 3 to 4 minutes max on the bike at the start, if not less. So whatever we just got in that 1-minute test, if we happen to get, less than, 20 calories or so, let's just times that by 3 or 4. And then that'll be a good number for us to shoot for at the start. We'll be done with the bike in less than 4 minutes before moving on to the rest of the workout. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through this sprint chipper, the 40 mountain climber plank shoulder taps, 30 deadlifts, 20 front squats, 10 squat cleans, then we're done. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up here, and then we'll get this going. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight Twin One to get us going. So here we go, guys. 40 calories on the bike, or 40 mountain climber plank shoulder taps, 30 deadlifts, 20 front squats, 10 squat cleans. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these 40 mountain climber plank shoulder taps, making our way down. And here we go. Now, this is a very interesting format here. We're used to pacing ourselves in terms of rounds and AMRAPs and things along those lines. But this is a chipper. We're starting from the top, working our way down. It's going to be easy to start too fast. And we definitely want to make sure that we're keeping into account, like, okay, we've got this 40 mountain climber plank shoulder taps, but then after that, I'm going to need some energy to get through the 30 deadlifts and then the 20 front squats and then the 10 squat cleans. And so let's definitely make sure if we're doing the mountain climber plank shoulder taps, maybe we're breaking it up like every 10 to 15 or so until we get to the 40. If we come out too hot, then boom, we're gonna definitely shoot ourselves in the foot for the rest of the workout. And like we said, if we were on a machine, we're looking for this bike to take us somewhere between 2 to 4 minutes for most of us. And so whatever we got on that 1 minute test, if we times that by 3 or no more than 4, as far as calorie output is concerned, then that's going to be a good number for us to stick with. And you guys have been asking for more bike, and here you are getting it. We're starting off this with a big set of 40 calories on this bike. And there goes Bird Dog already off that rowing machine there. I kind of feel like maybe you kind of undercut yourself. You could have done a little bit more, but you know what? Hey, let's just get through the rest of these movements here. And you are on these deadlifts, staying nice and tight. When we get to the 30 deadlifts, guys, it's also going to be helpful to have some type of strategy there too. We're not necessarily looking to do all 30 in a row unbroken. I kind of like a 8-7-6-5-4 strategy when it's a dirty 30. The 30 may seem like a big number, but if we break it up into those nice, progressively smaller chunks, 8-7-6-5-4, then that helps us mentally and physically to get through it. Nice short rest, quick sets there. But most of us making our way, just about finishing this bike. We've got Deb just about done with the mountain climber plank shoulder taps, about to hit these deadlifts. Mighty Mouse on these deadlifts. And then we got Twin One making her way to the bar, about to hit these deadlifts as well. So everyone on track here to finish within today's target window. And these target windows are the best way to measure our progress and to challenge ourselves in these workouts. And as long as we are making choices in terms of weights and movement options that help us to fall within the target window, whether we're doing scaled, intermediate, or RX weights, we want to pick the weights and movements that will help us to finish within the target window and get the intended stimulus of the workout. But we are on here on this set of 30. Robin taking a strategic break. Bird Dog listening to the coaching. We do have the option to go all 30 in a row unbroken, but then we'll probably shoot ourselves in the foot for those front squats. So I really believe in bigger chunk, smaller chunk, starting with 8, making our way down to 4, 8-7-6-5-4. And we are doing this here, guys. All the way down, all the way up. And it looks like Mighty Mouse done with the deadlifts. Moving on to the 20 front squats. And the seated variation, we're doing these hang power cleans. So from the knee up to the shoulder for the seated position. Well, let's take strategic breaks. Let's get through these deadlifts, and then we're going to get that bar up and then start to do some front squats. And it looks like we got Bird Dog on her way to hit some front squats here. So deep breath in. Slow and low. Let's make sure we're getting all the way down, hips below the knees. But then we can explode out of it and fight those elbows up. And we got Deb as well on these front squats, sitting back, standing up. And this is a set of 20 front squats here. So we may or may not be able to do all 20 in a row. But let's definitely have some type of strategy in mind to hit a big set of hopefully at least 10 in a row. before we put that bar down for a quick rest. But then after these 20 front squats, we're going to be doing the 10 squat cleans, which is basically jumping into that front squat each time. Starting from that deadlift position, hitting that jump, hitting that squat. And then after the 10 squat cleans, we're going to be done. But we're making our way through these front squats, doing our thing, getting low, standing that up. And it looks like we got Mighty Mouse rushing to the finish line. Now hitting the squat cleans from all the way down, getting that up to the shoulders. And we know what to do when we finish. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. So let's do this thing. We got Bird Dog and all her cheerleaders over there. Getting low, standing that up. Twin One looking to go unbroken on these squats. Deep breath in. And it looks like we got Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Great job there, Mighty Mouse. And we are making our way down this list here. Let's cheer everyone on. Twin One putting that bar down. Getting ready to go to town. And we got Deb on this last set of squat cleans here. So starting each rep, tapping that ground, jumping into that squat. Bird Dog as well, about to hit these squat cleans. So starting low.
You got this,
those
guys.
elbows
You can do it.
fast and high. Twin One. Finishing off some front squats here. But then Deb, just a couple reps away. Jumping that up, flipping those elbows. Bird Dog as well, just a couple reps away. Starting low. Jumping, flipping fast into that squat, standing that up. And notice the footwork. The feet are starting close together and then going slightly wider into that squat stance. So we start close, get a little bit wider. And let's do this thing. And here we go, Twin One, about to take a chunk out of these squat cleans. Bird Dog almost there.
You got this, guys. You got it.
And it looks like Deb across the finish line already doing that victory dance. And Bird Dog just across the finish line. And let's cheer on Twin One. She's moving some serious weight there. Hitting that jump. Hitting that flip under stand.
Nice, Coach D.
And let's do it. Getting low. Standing that up.
Take a break.
Looks like just a couple reps to go. Taking a breather.
You got this.
Beautiful squats and beautiful cleans. Yes. Woo.
There she goes. Almost done.
Nice,
Stand
nice,
up.
nice.
And just a couple cleans to go.
Tonight, but we're not here.
Boom.
Nice.
Almost there. Racing to the finish. Squatting low. Elbows up.
Nice job. Nice job.
And let's hit this rep here. Standing that out.
Yes.
And that is time for Twin One.
Nice job, everyone. Nice job.
Always a super climactic finish there. Nice to see everyone racing picking weights that are challenging, but still within the target window. And now we're going to move on to the cool down stretch, which is one of the most important parts of the program. This stretch helps us to fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today is the seal. And that's going to be where we're laying face down. And we're going to push up like this, letting those hips sink into the ground. Or if that's hard on the wrist, we can do this off the elbow like this. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're going to get those arms up and pull back like this. And while we're over here, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch here. Let's go from the seal into the frog. We're going to push those hips back, get the knees out to the side, and we are sinking, opening up those hips like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the hands back on those shoulder blades, pulling back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo twin one?
So my high were the deadlifts. Low was I want to get better at pushing through the WOD, going a little bit faster. I feel like I'm a little too slow. And then buffalo was when I saw this workout, I really didn't like it at all, just because I saw the huge numbers at the top. But it felt better as I was going through it, and I was like, yes, less numbers as I go through the finish line.
And that is what's always awesome about a chipper. Hey, it starts off real big, but then as we work through it, we can see the finish line in sight, and we get there before we know it. So good job there, twin one. And let's go ahead and switch to supine twist. We're going to lay on the back, get that one knee into the chest, twist and pull down like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from bird dog. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to twist toward the right, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo bird dog?
My high would have to be, I like this style of workout. Yeah, the numbers were scary at first, but when you got through with it, it's like, all right, I'm done with that move. I ain't got to see it again. So I liked that. My low was probably the squat planes. I felt myself losing my balance a couple of times. So I really need to work on my foot position, I think, and my form. So that was my low. And my buffalo, this was a little more difficult than I thought it would be, just looking at the moves. Even the numbers were high, but I thought, okay, I didn't realize it would stretch me this much. So I liked it, though.
And that's the beauty of a chipper as well. It stretches you as much as you want to stretch yourself. And we definitely, as we get toward the end, we bring that intensity, and it definitely punches back. But good job there, bird dog. And let's go ahead now and switch to supine twist on the other side. We got the other knee into the chest, and we are twisting the other way now, pulling down with that opposite hand. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're twisting toward the left now, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the calorie bites, the shoulder, I can't even talk, plank shoulder tap. And my low, I didn't have a low, but my buffalo was that round of 40. So what I did was I did each round, I did 10 each till I finished the round of 40. So it was a good workout. It was kind of, it was a good workout.
And that's just spoken like a true veteran. You understand by now how we break up big sets and pace things out. So you didn't even need to hear me say that. but you took it upon yourself, broke it up into nice 10s, and that's why you were able to do what you normally do and hit that finish line at a good time. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. Let's kick this week off with the Monday sweaty selfie, because does this count if we don't take this selfie? Let's flex on the camera here, guys, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit crew.
Fit crew. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.